Hey folks, Cleaver here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you all enjoyed my review slash epic rant on Blade Trinity that came out starring Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. Yeah, I hated that movie. Yeah, just remember to stick on this channel. Sorry guys, thank you for another sub and 36 now, so let's keep on bringing it. Remember, subscribe to this channel, not the one that has the. Now you can watch videos on my other channel here, but do not subscribe to this one. Yeah, stick with this one. Stick with this channel. And by the way, as I mentioned before, I share all my superhero reviews from that channel onto this one. So that way, guys, if you want to watch my other superhero reviews, and I'll share those videos and TV shows I talk about. But not now. Right now, I'm just going to focus on the movies and stuff for now, the superhero films itself. And if you want to know, I think there's like a little, well, if you go on my channel, if you're subscribed, you can hit like a bell on it or whatever. It tells you when I upload a video or something. Or, pay attention to my community posts when I say, I always post something there, always say when the next review is or the next video is, so pay attention for that. So just remember to stick on this channel. Now, I have been on doing a superhero marathon on my channel. I've been on the 2000s, as I call it, the 2000s era of superhero reviews. Films that came out in the 2000s, from 2000 to 2009. And now we are on the year 2005. I have about 11 movies to review. Well, there are 11 movies, but I think I'll just be about reviewing 9. Should be 9, I believe. Because there were two films that came out in 2005 that I reviewed. That was two Batman movies. That was Batman Begins. I did review that. All you have to do, I'll definitely put it on here on the list a little later, and a little later the animated film, The Batman versus Dracula. So just look at my reviews for that if you want to watch those. I did review them already, so they will not be reviewed again. So if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on the movies, just go watch those reviews. But anyway, for 2005, this film came out in January. This is a spin-off film, and I hated this film. I've only seen it a long time ago. Maybe watched it on VHS, like some time ago. Then I recently watched it again. The DVD scratches up just at one part, but still, this movie sucks. I love the actress. She's beautiful. She's a great actress. She was great in the last movie, but this film just outright sucks, in my opinion. I hated this film. Hated this movie. This is going to be another epic rant. Sorry, but I just didn't care for this film. This came out almost a month later because Blade Trinity was December. This is another Marvel movie that sucks, and way before the MCU even happened. That is starring Jennifer Gardner, Elektra. This is also a spin-off. It's not a sequel, but a spin-off of Daredevil from 2003, which I think even the theatrical version is better, especially the director's cut is a lot better than this movie. Yeah. But Jennifer Garner reprised her role as the character. I'm not going to get into the story, I'll just get into the production. But this movie, came out at a time where superhero movies like Spider-Man 2 made money. The superhero films at this time were still making money. So they were, I guess, just they were throwing comic book movies out there at this time in the 2000s. Kind of like in the 90s, where they were throwing films out just to make the money, Because like I said, Spider-Man 2 was a huge hit when that came out. Uh, The Incredibles was even a huge hit, even though that's Pixar. I would say that film was a hit. So I think there was a lot of studios at the time just trying to make money. Maybe that's why they did the spin-off. No reason to make it, and it could have worked, but I just think they rushed it so that they could, make good money off of it. Because Elektra was a good character, and it did good for Jennifer Garner's career. So they're probably thinking, yeah, let's make some good cash. That's just the way I see it, folks. Come on. But for the production, in 1987, after the success of Frank Miller's Elektra Assassin, Marvel tried to adapt the graphic novel to a live-action movie, so they wanted to give Elektra her own film. Let me read about the character. Alexia's the one that she's got the size. She doesn't wear that, but she does wear, of course, the cool red suit in this movie, which I do like. I like it better than the one Daredevil. She was created by Frank Miller, who also, I believe Frank Miller was the one that made the Batman comic, Batman: The Dark Knight, or the Dark Knight Returns comic. Elektra was born on a Greek island. Character's name Ortez, which I've never heard of. She does have conflict with Daredevil and Bullseye, and of course is puts her in conflict with Daredevil because they're different. Even the comic, she's helped Wolverine, and I do know that Jennifer Garner did respire the role. Yeah, just reading about the character. I don't really have time to sit here in the video all day and read about the character. Sorry, but you can read more about the character or if you read the comics yourself. I've never read an Elektra comic, but it does seem like it was interesting. I do like Elektra as Elektra Nausea as a character, and they could have done a lot more with her in this movie, but they don't, unfortunately. But anyway, for the production, like I said, after selling the rights of Elektra to New Line Cinema, Frank Miller was hired to pen a screenplay on the graphic novel of the same name. Later on, screenwriters Jim McBride and Lim Kip Clark were hired to write a second script. Director Oliver Stone later signed on to direct, and one a volleyball player, model, and actress Gabrielle Reese to star as Elektra. The project was canceled as the rights to Elektra were sold to 20th Century Fox. Gardner reportedly did not want to do the film, and only did it because she was legally required due to contractual obligations from Daredevil. And there are scenes you can tell. I mean, I do think she does give a good performance here, but it does seem that most time that you can tell Jennifer Gardner did not want to really star in this movie. I guess she had a contract and she had to be in this movie. Really had no choice since it's a spinoff from Daredevil. Yeah. The film was made during Gardner's hiatus from television shows like Hylas, and production was limited by that time frame. Ben Affleck does respire his roles as Daredevil as Daredevil, but it's only in the cameo where Elektra's having dreams and nightmares of her past. She dreams of seeing Ben Affleck, of seeing Matt Murdock, like them hugging and then him not really being there. So it's just all a dream basically in Elektra's mind. But it was cut from the final film. The scene was included on the DVD as a deleted scene. If you own the film, yeah, there are you do have a making of the movie. You do get deleted scenes as well and special features here in the making of the film. And from what they talk about it, they talk about like this movie's going to be amazing, or even she sounds excited about it. Jennifer Gardner behind the scenes. I think she even promoted the movie on Comic Con at the time. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Jennifer Gardner had a Comic Con presentation, like high hopes for the movie, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But director Rob Cohen knew going to the project, the production time was going to be short and they would be limited in what they could achieve, but thought that the critics would appreciate what he was able to do with a small $43 million budget. Bowman saw it not as an action speculate, but as a story about a character learning about compassion. He says shooting production made for very long days and has a life little as 4 hours of sleep at night, and that he used every trick in the book. I had to pull that movie off the short amount of time. Bowman said that the film was literally 12 frames of rated R due to MPA rejection to several death scenes. So yeah, I do think this film should have been rated R, but Elektra is PG-13. I mean, again, Elektra is an assassin. I might not know much about the comics, but I definitely tell she's probably violent. So you probably needed that for this movie. You just water her down to PG-13, and that's another thing that hurts the film too. Now, I do want to like one thing about this movie. I do like some of the music score. Never There, She Stabs. Uh, Everyone Is Wrong. That was a pretty good song. So some of the soundtrack is pretty good. They also had a commercial for the soundtrack album. Yeah, you could also find it on the DVD here. Can't find it on YouTube. I couldn't. But they have TV spots, of course, the trailer, teaser to market the film. Yeah, for the release, the DVD of Elektra was released on April 5th. Featured deleted scenes, including one Ben Affleck. Oh, there's also a director's cut and extended solid cut detail for home video. Unlike the director's cut, which added that about 30 minutes of material on the original, this version only changed about 7 minutes of footage. It extended the total runtime by just 3 minutes. It was also criticized for poor video transfer, so it still sucks either way. I think it was released on VHS too, I guess. A Blu-ray of Elisha was released on October 19, 2009, for released in the UK. The US version was released on May 4, 2010. It contains only the unrated director's cut of the film. There was also a video game based on the movie. It was never released. The publisher would not be enough. A game based on the film was released for mobile, I guess you could say. And here's some you see Elisha there. Elisha, she's fighting the hand. There's some shots of the game. Yeah, how exciting. Really wouldn't care to play a mobile game, but that's just me. For the film's reception, it got negative reviews from critics, which I can only see why. Jennifer Gardner inhabits her role with earnest and gusto. Alicia's tone-deaf script is too self-serious, and the intelligent dialogue provides thrilling thrills. Roger Ebert gave it the film 1.5 stars. It plays like a collision between leftover bits and pieces of Marvel superhero stories. It can't decide what tone to strike, which I can agree with. Helen O'Hara, True Foxes, despite oozing story quality, Gardner struggles to rise above the limitations of the script. Elektra proves no more than satisfying. A character-driven superhero yearn, whose flurry of last-minute rewriting shows in a disjointed plot. One critic said, Gardner's grace and mystical abilities make for a lonely burden. We are supposed to feel her pain. Instead, we feel our own for having to sit through this silly movie. Sorry. Pig can let the Gardner is far more appealing when she's playing charming. Though when she did so willingly in 13 Going on 3. I've seen that movie once. She's great in that movie. Gardner is great in that film, I think. Director Rob Bowman was somewhat surprised with the negative reviews. He said the difficulty of making something with mass market appeal. Everybody likes ice cream, but not everybody likes chocolate ice cream. But acknowledged that the film's shortcomings and said, if you can't handle people not liking what you do, you shouldn't be in the business. Yeah, Rob Bowman, maybe you shouldn't be in the business because you did a shitty job directing this movie, dude. And then Jennifer Gardner, Nutty and Malt were nominated for Best Kiss, but honestly, I'll get to that scene later in the movie. But I don't know why. Hopefully, it didn't win an award. But he says not everybody likes ice cream. Yeah, we all do like ice cream, but a movie's not ice cream. It's not food. It's like you're making it for entertainment. You're making a good story. We're not eating ice cream. We're wanting to watch a movie that has a good story. Mm, yeah. Film critics blame the film for ruining Jennifer Garner's career, which I do agree someone did. But I do think she still does movies and stuff. She was part of like Deadpool and Wolverine, so her career's not completely over. No, she still does movies, I believe. Instead, it killed off the notion of female lead superhero movie decade, which it did, because we didn't really get one. Can't think of any other one we got. I'd probably say that Wonder Woman 2017, and that was better than this. Even if you don't like that movie, I'd rather watch Wonder Woman, even Wonder Woman 1984 over this. As many problems that movie has, it's still somewhat I can be entertained by that movie, and also Captain Marvel. I'll even watch the Marvels over this. That's not good. You want to say the Marvels ain't good? You need to watch this. Rewatch this and Catwoman. Yeah, these two are this and Catwoman are the worst female superhero movies I've ever seen in my life. I've ever seen. Yes, the worst in my opinion. I will take Captain Marvel all day. I'll take Brie Larson all day because that has a better story in my opinion. And apparently Marvel rushed the movie, which I could definitely tell. I know she's in the Netflix show Daredevil, but I don't really care to see that. But that's just me. Elektra does appear in the Marvel Netflix television series Daredevil and the Defenders, portrayed by another actress who I never heard of. Sorry, I stay with Jennifer Gardner. As bad as this movie is, I still do like her as Elektra. She's not my problem with this film. Jennifer Garner's Elektra appears in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Deadpool and Wolverine, which I'll give that a chance. But the only thing I miss in that movie is I think she should be wearing this suit. I love her in that suit. For the cast, though, you have Jennifer Gardner as Elektra, Laura Ward as young Elektra, like she played in Daredevil. She's 13 going on 30. Beautiful woman. Valentine's Day. Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. I thought she was really good in that. Peppermint. Peppermint. I'm probably gonna watch that. Makes me watch that movie today after watching this. Peppermint's a more entertaining movie than this. Where she's a vigilante in that. That's a lot. That's a better movie. Yeah, it's a ridiculous title, but it's a lot better than this movie because that didn't bore me. Terrence Stamp plays Stick. Stick is an interesting character because I think he's a blind sensei. He's the leader of the Chest Eye, who trained Matt Murdock and Elektra, Daredevil. You did have him train Daredevil if you've seen Spider-Man anime series, where Daredevil comes, uh, Matt Murdock, helps Peter Parker from being set up. I reviewed Daredevil vs. Spider-Man by the way, and I did mention Stick in there. So yeah, but Stick is a pretty cool character. Terrence Stamp. Now he did do another superhero movie, other supervillain roles, but y'all should know him for another superhero film, Christopher Reeve Superman 2. Yeah, Richard Lester Superman 2, and the Donner Cut. He's a little over top in that, but again, he gives a better performance in those movies than he did. I mean, he's good in here, but it seems like he was doing it for a paycheck. But if you want to see him a better superhero film, watch the Donner Cut, despite me thinking that film was overrated. And I love Superman 2, the Lester version. That's a better movie than this. Yeah, where he plays General Zod. He's great in that. And in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, he was in Young Guns, and Get Smart, and Yes Man with Jim Carrey. Christian Prawn as Abby Miller. I know she gets on some shows like NCIS, so I know. Garnell Ritchie as Mark Miller. Curly Ogachotan as Raja. He's been in several movies. He was in Mortal Kombat, License to Kill, um, Showdown with Tokyo with the late Brandon Lee, and also starring Dolph Lundgren and Tia Carrera. Planet of the Apes, the 2001 film. And I think he was in another superhero movie, The Phantom. Better movie than this, in my opinion. Oh, I love The Phantom. Yeah. And he was good in Mortal Kombat, too. Oh, and he did do The Phantom, which is another superhero film that I mentioned. He did a voice for Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. Definitely gotta give that a review someday. But really good actor. William Link as Criggy. William Link, I think he was in the Wolverine, another superhero movie. And he was in Die Another Day, played the general in the beginning of that movie. Before he changes his face. Well, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Good actor, though. At least in my opinion. He was in the Total Recall and Red Dawn remake. Yeah, that was one really good movie. He did a voice for Superman Unbound, another superhero film by animated movie. Chris Iverson as Tattoo. Edith DeBurn as Kunkel. Natasha Mullet as she was in Late Plasket, Me, Myself, and Irene. Bob Snap as Stone. I think, let's see. Oh, yeah, he was in Lonely Shore. He was funny in that movie. He broke it in my nose. That's the same guy that plays in here, but he has a wasted role in here. He's in the Conan the Barbarian remake. Colin Cunningham as McGabe. He was in The Sixth Day. That was with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hiro Panaka I can't say it right. Joan Gina Masta is Electra's mother. Kurt Mack's routine as Nicholas Nachos, young Nicholas Nachos. Oh well, let's see. Wait a minute. He was okay. He was a chief of staff at Abrams in X2 X Men United. Jason Isaacs is the Marco. Yeah, somebody who she assassinates in the beginning. Now he was a great villain, like in The Patriot, and he played Captain Hook in Peter Pan 2003, which I like more than this. That's just me. But Jason Isaacs, good actor. Ben Affleck reprised the Rose Malik in Daredevil, and the director of the movie is directed by Rob Bowman. He's directed other films like Airborne, The X Files, Rain and Fire. So, but mostly he's notably for working on TV series like Star Trek: The Next Generation. A lot of other shows I've probably never seen before. Yeah, it's written by Zach Penn, who's also wrote scripts for other Marvel movies, including The Incredible Hulk from 2008, X2 X Men United, X Men The Last Stand, and The Avengers. Seen other films. Last Action Hero. He did the story for that with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Men in Black. Ants. Oh yeah, he wrote the script for Inspector Gadget, the first one. Oh yeah, another crappy movie. I'm not, Charlie's Angels, which I do like, and Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson and Gene Hackman. Yeah, and Free Guy, and Ready Player One, and Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds. Stuart, and also yeah, you got three writers on this film, and yeah, not even they could save this movie. The other writer, Mid Raven Mitzer, again, television series based on comic characters created by Frank Miller, motion picture characters by Mark Steven Johnson, who also directed Daredevil and Ghost, another superhero film, Ghost Rider. Cinematography by Bill Grove. It's edited by Kevin Stitt, who's edited films like Romancing the Stone, Short Circuit, Harry and the Hendersons, Lethal Weapon 2, Die Hard 2, which are better, The Last Boy Scout, which are better movies that have better action scenes than this, in my opinion. Lethal Weapon 4, even Lethal Weapon 4 have better action scenes than this. Paycheck, the first X Men 2000, better action than this. Deep Blue Sea, additional editor on that film, love that movie. Sarah Yates, Jack Reacher, Jurassic World, which I didn't care for Jurassic World, but I like Jack Reacher. So he's done some movies that have good editing, but the editing here I didn't really care for. The music is alright. Is by Gene Christopher Beck. He also did music for other Marvel movies like the Ant-Man trilogy, Ant-Man, Ant-Man the Wasp, Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, which we got last year, and Marvel TV series like WandaVision, Hawkeye. Alice Alon, I don't know how to say it. I guess all along, I don't know, I've never seen it. He did music for Cheap Brother Dozen, The Pink Panther, which star T. Martin, Big Fat Liar, which stars Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes, and Just Married, which I like that movie, starring the late Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, production companies Marvel's Entertainment Enterprises, New Regime Productions, Horseshoe Bay, distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was released January 14th, 2005. It's 97 minutes long. The budget was $43.65 million worldwide. And the box office made $57 million worldwide. And I would say it was a failure, yeah. Didn't get, yeah. And many praised Garner's performance, and I praised her performance too. But for the plot of the movie, for what Elektra is about, I'm sorry, we're in 24 minutes and I'll get to it. Elektra is that the plot is the story follows an Elektra, an assassin who must protect a man and his protege daughter from another assassin who was hired by the hand. So you see, Elektra is she died in the first died in Daredevil. She died. She was killed by Bullseye, but thanks to Stick, who is a sensei master with great abilities, can see into the future. He brings her back to life, and she becomes an assassin. Stick tells her to leave his JoJo, and she goes on her own, and she's killed unknown people for many years until she meets this father and daughter, and she has to protect them from the hand. And there will be spoilers in this review, so if you've never seen Elektra, do not watch this review. Don't waste your time. Well, I mean, not watching my video, but don't spoil it for yourself. But if you've seen it, you probably know why it sucks. So the movie has decent opening titles. I do like the Marvel titles of Elektra, letting us know it is a Marvel movie. The story is introduced by Stick. It tells us about the Hand and you know his dojo that it's been good versus evil for a long time. That they're looking for somebody called the Treasure, who's a they don't ever explain that, but it's a great warrior. Then he mentions Elektra, who is thought to be a legend, brought back from the dead, but she's a great warrior, an assassin. The good fellow is Cullumard, that they can foresee the future and they can control life and death. Then the next thing we see Elektra, just dispatching some bad guys, and Jason Isaacs talking about her that they said, "Sir, she's a bodyguard." He tells a bodyguard like, "Y'all wasted, the security here. Y'all wasted time hiring you guys. You can't kill Elektra." I'm like, that woman died a long time ago. They're like, she's a legend. I'm like, no, she's alive. He talks about Elektra. Elektra sneaks in, calls she kills one of the guys. She calls him saying, "Yeah," and it makes you geek out seeing her in the suit, which is cool. She kills the guy, pours it away. Jason Isaac's like, "What would you know about death?" And with her sneak ability is whatever says, "Because I've died before." When she throws the sigh at him and kills him with it, which I thought was a cool moment. Okay, decent action moment. Maybe we'll get into a good movie. Yeah, but Elektra wants to stop assassinating people. How long she's been doing it. We found out about her past that when she died near Deadpool, that Stick brought her back to life. He trained her at the Guillermo Dojo. I'm gonna call it Guillermo Giorgio because I can't say it right. Dojo. And he told Electra to leave. That she just maybe has too anger in her. Never really reasons why for her to leave. We don't see too much of it. It feels very rushed. And we see Electra dreaming of like a devil or whatever, which we find out is a ninja that killed her mother. Yeah. And she's told by this guy, I forget the guy name, but I guess he's like her handler, or whatever, gives her assignments of the assassins from the Hand. Unless she tells him, don't put the bag there, and she's like, how much? 200,000. You're gonna get money for killing them. So he told Lester she's gonna have to wait. She goes to this place. Like I said, we see Lester's past a bit. We see Lester swimming. Oh, we see Lester pulling out her personal hygiene stuff, toothpaste and something all around. Yeah, that's fun. So Lester just has to wait and wait and wait and wait. And this is where the film just gets boring. Nothing's really happening. Nothing is really happening. And this little Yeah, so basically her handler tells her, we gotta wait for a while. And she's like, I'm tired of waiting here. I'm about to leave. But she doesn't know. Well, anyway, I said there'll be spoilers. She meets this little girl named Abby. Little Abby, teenage brat, breaks into her house, tries to steal her necklace. You know, she gets it back from her. Abby runs out. And the dad comes up to her, and his name is Mark Miller, and stars name Abby. You know, yeah, Abby. And finally, after waiting for a couple of days, nothing, not much happening, unless you're just waiting around. She finally gets a call from the handler saying, "Oh, it's time." And she looks at the people she's supposed to kill from the pictures, and it's Mark Miller and stuff. Well, anyway, before that happens, they invite her over for Christmas dinner, and she just had to talk with him or whatever. And he's like, "You, Alicia, your parents must have had a quick sense of humor." Yeah, some of that. She's like, "I wouldn't know." She has dinner with them. Blah blah blah. I don't really care. This movie jumps right into if Alessia had a family cliche or a daughter, I'd be like, supposed to be like a daughter to her in this movie. Cliche where she's, you know, stubborn child or whatever, or has an attitude. She says bullshit after they didn't tell her father to stop. And Alicia's like, don't cuss, and talking about her school, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. It's just very boring. And then when I say she has to kill them, well, that sure gets close to when she got a bow and arrow, got to do it, and then she just can't do it for some reason. She can't do it, even though she's had no chemistry with these people. She automatically likes them, and you find out that the hand, Will Young Lee, um, yeah, William, yeah, Will Young Lee here, and there's pictures of Electra training a little bit, but Will Young Lee, he tells his father that the hand, who is like in control of the hand, that they have the treasure, that they need to get her, you know. It's like, okay, well, but Electra fails to kill them or refuses to do it, and Electra's gonna leave out of there, you know. And she almost leaves out, but she knows these two assassins now. These are four assassins when they go up to her. They eventually, Will Young Lee goes back to the hand, tells them that Electra failed, so that they're gonna try to kill the guy and Electra herself, so that if she gets in the way, which Electra does, Electra feeling guilty goes back to Mark, and you have these two assassins, two ninjas trying to, and I will give this film a moment. Though Electra does this cool moment where she just go up with this eye, you know, and he's up on the top of the building, top of the roof, and she stabs him through the roof. And when they die, it's like they die in a CGI fart. I don't know how to explain it. It's terrible. Look, this film has awful CGI. She kills the other assassin, questions him, kills him. They run out of there. Yeah, but like I've already mentioned that the hand talks about getting rid of Elektra too. She tries to go give them a stick. She goes to Terrence Stamp, who is playing pool, and Ezekiel has the feature and stuff. He wins his bet. He's like, leave the money on the table. She confronts Stick and tells him that, we gotta save her. I mean, that the henchman killed them. I need you to take them to your people, to your dojo, protect them, whatever. And he's like, what? And it was like, well, why are they after this man for? And Mark's like, well, I know why they're after me. And Alessio's pissed, like saying, really? You knew the whole time. And Abby's like playing a game or whatever, but Alessia goes away angry almost. And then he says, what's the matter, Alessia? You see your own past as damaged and what you've been through? Lecter again has been traumatized because her mother was killed when she was young. Her father was murdered too. And she was murdered herself. So she's had a lot of dramatized in her life. But the film really never explores that. We get bit and pieces of her past. That's interesting, but they never fully explore her as a character. They try to, but just with a story. She doesn't grab a stick, but he grabs her. He's not always leaving because y'all lied to me or whatever. And let you see this bird. And one of the characters in here, uh, this, yeah, this guy right here, he get animals that come out of his body. He has a bird that sees them, and they said they're headed there. They go to her handler. He's got a shotgun. Said, "Well, you might as well just shoot me now, Electra." And they just relax. Electra has a few mother daughter moments by teaching her how to meditate, and Abby's like kind of sees Electra. Electra's like, ah, scares her. Yeah, you see I'm laughing, but that was a funny and stupid moment. Didn't really care about that. Um, her and Mark, Electra and Mark share a kiss, which makes no sense because they have no chemistry. Like, say what you will about the Daredevil Director's Cut, or the Director's Word, at least a love story worked because you know what? Even you can make fun of the fight scene at the playground. That was more entertaining to watch than anything in this movie. character moments. I mean, that was a better character moment. That was a fun, entertaining moment. But because Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner, as Matt and Elektra, they had chemistry. I bought them being in love. I don't buy her Mark. Mark just kisses her. She's like, I'm gonna pretend I hated that. I'm like, it was just really forced. Like they're trying to force a love story in here, like shove that in here. It was shoehorned in here. It doesn't make any sense that they share a kiss. Elektra shows no interest in him. They have no chemistry that they like each other. Nothing. It's just flat. You know. You know. Flat as a stick. Yeah. Again, Mark doesn't know why they're following him, but he doesn't tell Elektra why. Kurgay, or William Lee, that's what the actor's name. Okay, her handler, negotiating agent, he was just of the assassins, McCabe. They relaxed here for like 2 days or so, but the assassins of herself, Elektra can like send the future. She's like, we gotta go, and she tells McCabe's like, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna kill them. And you got this big black guy in the movies from The Longest Yard. This character, yeah, tries to shoot him with a shotgun, but it doesn't have an effect on him. Just like the guy's improves to pain, you can't really kill him. Um, Will Young attacks him. Will Young like stabs him. Like go and kill her. So he's and the guy that can have animals come out of him try to send these two CGI wolves out of his stomach to go attack them. Electra fights the big guy. She tries to sneak up on him, kill him with his sides, like breaks and yeah, and the big guy throws like a beer kick at her. Because Abby's like Electra, and Abby and her father are like tracking up. They're trapped in hiding in a tree lump or a tree log, a tree. They're hiding in the log, and he's trying to get them. And then he tries to throw a weapon at Electra, and Electra's able to push the tree down. And you would think this big guy'd be a threat, but no, he gets killed off like that very easily. Okay, that would be an interesting fight, but he dies right away. You have this another guy who I don't even know if part of the group just shows up, just attacks her, and all of a sudden she's a Mary Sue. I'm talking about freaking. We find out who they're after and why. Because Abby is apparently the treasure. Abby has this necklace, just the guy. Yeah, like she's Wonder Woman or something, and she's the treasurer. So she attacks, but this Poison Ivy woman, who if I can point to her character right here, gives Electra a lesbo kiss. Kisses Electra so he can back her out. This woman is poison. Yeah. Well, before anything could happen, before Will Young Lee can do anything, kill her father, Stick and the Hand show up. Stick and his dojo ninjas show up, tells them to leave, and he's like, next time, old man. And Will Young Lee just uses powers, abilities, disappear him, and the group get out of there. And she tells Stick tells her that, Electra, is this a test? The reason why I left you and stuff. Well, Electra, you had all that darkness in your heart and stuff, and I had to test you. And you see her like what Elektra is doing, right? When she was doing that, you get Abby doing the same thing, fighting and stuff. Which again, I don't really buy it. She just sees Electra's cabin. Tells Elektra, you got OCDC. She has to practice fight with Elektra. Again, I don't care. Oh, Abby and Mark, they kill one of the assassins because Mark throws the knife at him, throws the dagger at him, stabs the guy. But she's the treasurer, so that they don't want to kill her. They just want to take her so they can train her and bring her to their side. That she must be a great fighter. As long as William Lee's still around and in the hand, they gotta protect her. But he apparently found out it was a psychological trick that Stick set it up just to prove that she has a heart. I'm like, okay, there was no point in that. That was stupid. And he tells her, some mistakes have to be, a lesson has to be learned to be lived to understand it, be understood. Electra makes a deal with Hidri with William Lee that if he wins, that he gets Abby for good and brings her to the hand. If he kills her, that they'll leave her for him forever. I was like, deal, okay, deal. But Electra returns there to have this fight. William Lee and his and the hand show up. Yeah, they have a little brief fight in the house with like bed sheets are going everywhere, and it's terrible editing. But suddenly, uh, the treasurer Abby shows up to fight. Like Electra tries to fight. She even tried to fight William Lee, which is unbelievable. I'm like, okay, he could probably just kill her if he wanted to. Doesn't she like bitch slaps her? She slaps him with it, cuts him with it, and he grabs her. They go outside. They run in the maze. Then the wolf guy's trying to send out these CGI terrible snakes to all these snakes get out of his stomach and his body. Check attack. Electra's like, I know what you're. Electra just snaps his neck and kills him, and then kills the snake. Poison Ivy lady shows up, whatever her name is. I don't care. I know you're the treasurer, but I always want the treasurer too, so I'm gonna kill you. She tries to blow her a kiss and poison her. But Electra encounters William Lee, and they have this fight again, a terrible fight. I could barely see what's going on. I'm sorry, the editing is so rushed and stuff. Yeah, he knocks down Electra a couple times. He's like, well, Electra, it looks like you lose, or something like that. And he's going to try to attack Electra, but Electra stabs him with his eye, throws him over this well. And he's like, and dies in a bad CGI way. Then she can sense the future of where the poison lady is. He throws the sigh, which okay, I kind of mean it's cool. But he stabs the lady, and she's like, Electra runs all over this maze, finds her, picks her up, is able to use. Electra carries the bodies back to the house. She successfully revives her by using that ability of the hand, ability of the dojo where they can like check whether brings her back to life. Then we see the ending of the film where you know she thanks Electra for saving her. She's like, "You're welcome. You just stay safe. You'll have a good future ahead of you, Abby." And she shares a kiss with the dad again, with Mark again. Again, they have no chemistry, so it makes no sense. She's like, and he says, "I hated that," and they smile. I'm like, okay. And she don't grow up to be like me. Like, that would be such a bad thing in life. For you have a good heart, despite how hard it can be. And her second life her new life can be better than the first one was. And Electra walks away, leaves the house, her house, lets Abby Mark live there. So she leaves, I guess, to continue her life as an assassin, save people or something like that. And then the movie ends there, and then that's the end of Elektra. That's the film. Yeah. All right. Before I get my final opinion on this movie, or why I hate it. Mm. Mm. Yeah, this movie gives me a headache. My final thoughts on this movie is that Elektra sucks. This is one of the worst superhero movies ever made. I only think of two female superhero movies I hate. This and Catwoman. They're both terrible films. They're both boring, but they're both different movies, though. Elektra's not Catwoman. Elektra's an assassin, while Catwoman is a thief. But the way they did those stories makes no sense. The story doesn't make sense. The story sucks. But what do I like about the movie? First of all, I will admit, I do like some of the soundtrack. Some of the songs are good, and I do like Jennifer Garner's performance. But it does seem like she did not want to do this movie, and you can easily tell. Okay, first of all, the story sucks. Elektra. It starts off promising in the beginning. You don't really get her in this red suit, which is disappointing. You only get it at the beginning and at the climax of the movie where she has the fight with Will Young Lee when they fight off at the end. When they get to their battle at the end, this is when you see her in her suit. So you don't get her in that red suit so much, but it's disappointing. So we have to have a cliche story of like her having another family. The cameras. Sorry. Come on, webcam. Thank you. Thing of a cliche story of Abby being like a daughter. Like Mark and Abby are like the family that she could have had. Family that she never had technically. And we got to give the human side to Elektra. I want to see that depressing, that anger, that personality. There's something violent in this woman that, again, like I said, Elektra in the first movie, her father, her parents, her mother, when she was a little girl, was murdered. Oh, and by the way, spoiler alert, I forgot to mention, William Lee, the one that she has a dream of, apparently he was the one that killed her mother. BS, that was stupid. But it's just the story is my problem, you know. And they should have done much better with Elisha. They should have gone more in depth with her character. I'd rather have her kill Jason Isaacs, tease the beginning, but better action. No quick editing. I'm sorry. Do the edit of this movie. Terrible job, by the way. Yeah. Short Circuit, Harry and the Hendersons. Those are an action movie. Well, I'm sorry. No, excuse me. Lethal Weapon 2 and Die Hard 2. Those have better action scenes that are better well shot and less Boy Scout. Even though he was an assistant film editor on those movies, they still, in Lethal Weapon 4, not the third movie, I guess. And The Order, which are no, that's not Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm sorry. Yeah, X-Men. Even the first X-Men movie had better action scenes than this. At least I could see what was going on. So yeah, the editing, the action scenes. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused, but the story sucks. You could have driven more into Elektra's character. I would have liked to see Elektra more in action. Maybe Elektra, after killing Jason Isaacs, if they had better action scenes, well, they could have had a story of the Hand trying to come after her, or she's trying to assassinate somebody. The Hand is setting her up because they think she's the treasurer, so they're trying to kill Elektra, and they're gonna kill some innocent people. I wouldn't mind seeing Elektra save an innocent person, but you don't need to make somebody a character. She can save a little girl, but the little girl doesn't have to be a main character. Could cut that out. I want to see Elektra in this suit, more action scenes, make it rated R, and you can tell it was cut because a lot of it's PG-13 kills. There's one person that kills and then the camera cuts away to black. I'm not kidding you. And you could have just had her fight the Hand and fight Will Young leave the movie, and it could have been so much better done. Like the Daredevil Roach Cut, that is rated R, and that has awesome bloody scenes in it, sometimes good action. Even the original theatrical version had better cut version. You could have had, say what you will about the theatrical version, but I do like the fight between Bullseye and Daredevil and with Kingpin. They're better well shot, in my opinion. But the director cut is a lot better because they go more into, especially with Kingpin and Daredevil. It's so much better done, in my opinion. You just needed better action. You need better well shot action. You need a better story. Let's dive into Electra, see Jimmy her past. And the actor who played William Lee's father in this movie, he could have been the villain. It would have been interesting. The leader of the Hand. Him defeat him and his son trying to kill her. The villains. Get more screen time. Terrence Stamp doesn't have enough screen time. Give him a little more screen time. Just come up with a good story about her going after people and having to fight more. You could have come up with something better. I liked the handler guy, the McCable character, but they kill him off. You know, he tries to say to her, she's like, I'll throw in some season Lakers tickets too, which I thought was a little funny. But I'm like, why keep this character around? Keep him around. And instead, the story, she is just waiting around. Mark and Abby are her targets. Mark and Abby is the treasure, which again I don't buy. She's gonna marry Sue. I don't buy it. It's stupid. It's stupid. The story, yeah, the film is only 96 minutes long. It feels like too fast paced. It feels like a rush movie. We could have seen more of Electra's past of her. They should have started off talking about Electra in the beginning of seeing her revived right after Daredevil and see her getting trained, see her origin story, her origin of how she becomes this badass assassin. A little more of that, but it feels rushed. Yeah, like Marvel rushed this movie. They rushed this film because again, Spider-Man 2 was a huge hit. They probably started thinking, oh, we need a rush. And Blade Trinity wasn't made some decent money, but that wasn't well received either. So I don't know what they were thinking at the time. Maybe just rushing to make. Because I just think because it was Spider-Man 2, since that was such a huge hit, a well successful movie, Marvel was trying to rush everything out as possible, trying to make money. That's just the way it is, folks in Hollywood. Something they just rush because they don't care about the fans, you know. So the story sucks. The villain sucks. William Lee, he's all right. I don't think he's a terrible actor, good actor, but again, the villains suck in this movie. Poison Ivy Lady, the big guys that they kill off, which is disappointing. The guy that gets animals with Poison Ivy Lady, these characters suck and are forgettable. And when he gets animals coming out of his side, the CGI, the special effects are awful in this movie. The editing is terrible. Cinematography, okay, the film does somewhat look nice, I'll admit, with the island that she's on. That looks nice. Some nice cinematography there. But the rest of it is ugly to look at. Editing just ruins it. Just ruins it. Rob Bowen did a poor job directing Zach Penn. Three writers were, we had three writers that was Zach Penn, Stuart Zuckerman, and Raven Mitsur, who wrote this movie. Yeah, why did you need three writers on this movie? And they couldn't come up with a good story. Yeah, sometimes added the music score. Okay, this guy Christopher Beck, he's done good music scores. Even Ant Man films have good music score. But even the Ant Man movies, even Quantum Mania is better than this. I think that's more entertaining. I like Kang as a villain. That's a better villain than the villains we have here. The Hand is not very interesting. The story is very boring and lackluster. Uh, they try to put a love story, you know, force a love story between Elektra and Mark and them kissing. It's just not believable. I didn't buy it. For one bit, they have no chemistry. The film was just rushed. But Gardner, she's trying. But despite this, but the story and the script don't help her out. It doesn't make it a good movie. Yeah, and the treasure thing, what the Hand calls the treasurer, they never explain it, and it's not very interesting. I'd rather her just be at the war with the Hand, forget the treasure BS, just have her come back to life, have her be this big ass assassin, and that the Hand, they're the enemy, they're the evil one, right? They're it's good versus evil, so like that. They don't like Elektra, they want to kill Elektra because Elektra has been killing off some of their assassins, or been hired to kill their people that work for them, and so they want to kill her. You could have had a story like that. The election movie should have been about election, not Alexa trying to have family moments with them, like sharing dinner with them. Her moments with Mark and Abby, I didn't care about. That was the worst thing about the movie. I didn't care about Mark and Abby. You didn't need these two characters in this movie. You didn't need this Abby girl in this movie. You need more time for Terrence Trump. It should have just been Electra's film, her story, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's not an Electra movie. It feels like it's just Electra and her tender family moments, in here. And yeah, a throne with a story that makes no sense, that is just rushed, and it's boring. This film is just boring unless you're waiting around. It's just a boring movie, bland, boring, forgettable, and that's the sad thing. It's spin off Daredevil. It should have focused more on the story. At least Daredevil focused on the story. Yeah, it might have the love story. I thought was good, and the story that they had director's cut was better, but it felt like it was a Daredevil movie. You know, not family drama. We didn't need that. These characters might be tragic, but we want to see them. That's what makes them interesting of how tragic their backstory is. And you feel sorry for Daredevil and Elektra in their past, but you want to see them fight bad guys and take on bad guys. You know, yeah, you just could have done so much better with this movie, and they didn't. So Elektra is just terrible. So my rating for Elektra, despite the music I like and Jennifer Garner's performance, my rating for this film, I'm gonna give Elektra a thumbs down. One of the worst superhero movies I made. probably one of the worst female superhero movies. I haven't seen the Marvel, so I can't say that. For me, for right now, in my opinion, the worst female superhero movies are Elektra and Catwoman. People want to say Supergirl. Now, Supergirl, I don't mind. About how ridiculous or silly that could be, that film, at least I can be entertained by. I was never bored by it 1 minute. Yeah, it can have some bad acting in it, but it can. But I love Helen Slater. She's great in it. About how ridiculous, silly it can be. It can be entertaining too, despite the problems and the villainous. But I don't mind it. And Tank Girl, how bizarre it is and ridiculous it is, it's still fun to watch, in my opinion. I would take that over this, and Black Scorpion. I like Brett Taker. Black Scorpion had a better story. Black Scorpion has a better story, in my opinion. Better costume. And at least that's rated R. Yeah, that has some blood going there. Even had a sex scene in it. And I'm like, that film was rated R. It sticks to the R rating. This film should have been rated R. Elektra, Catwoman, they should have been rated R movies. I could definitely see that. You know, but they PG-13 just to appeal to younger audiences, and that's what they try to do in this movie, and that's why it fails. Not just because of that, because it just sucks. It's boring. But Elektra, my rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down. One of the worst superhero movies ever made, in my opinion. Yeah, one of the worst. Boring film. All right, I'm done with this. All right, the next review. Now, you might not call this a superhero movie, but the first movie that came out was 1994. That turned 30 back in July. Starred Jim Carrey, but of course that had a sequel. The Mask had a sequel, and of course next I will be probably doing another rant on Son of the Mask. So this Son of the Mask will be the next review. Yeah, yeah. See how much of a masterpiece this is, guys. Son of the Mask is next. Thanks for watching. Alright, guys. So stay tuned for my. Sorry. So, again, Elektra, my rating for Elektra is 1 out of 5 stars and thumbs down for Elektra. So, I hope you all enjoyed my review. So, separate ratings on Elektra. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this film in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you like this film, please tell me why. I'm curious to hear it. But I hate it. But, Son of the Mask, that'll be the next review. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Bye.